Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome back to more of our Wildstar coverage of the beta. Now, we have a very exciting video for you guys, and some of you who know me very well are like, Zen, this is an exciting video for you? Yes, it is. This is a PvP video, and I hate PvP, but in this game, I actually like PvP. That is mind-blowing. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, and I'm going to explain it all in this video, which is really cool. However, we do need to just put some things out there before we get completely into this video. First thing, the game is still in beta, so any frame lag you see, low frame rates or anything like that, any bugs, it's because it's in beta, they haven't optimized the game yet. Second thing, I suck at PvP. I'm really bad at PvP, so do not judge my gameplay here. I will get better as I play more, but to begin with, I'm not that great. So, let's talk about it, shall we? They have battlegrounds, they have arenas, and they have war plots. We'll go into all of those as we go along in this video. The first thing, though, is that we are doing a battleground, which is an objective-based PvP match in, I guess an instance is what you could call it. You go in, and you do an objective-based PvP. In this case, this one has these objectives that we need to take out, and after a certain time limit, because there's a time limit on this one, it flips over, and we get to be the defenders as opposed to them. So they're defending these points, we need to take them. Once this timer flips over, it is time for them to defend, or for us to defend, and for them to attack. So that's how this one works. I haven't tried any of the other ones because this was so nuts for me that I didn't know what to do. So the first thing you're going to notice is crap all over the place. There's so much going on in this because you have the telegraph system happening, right? Which means all of the abilities from the enemies are telegraphed on the ground so you can see what they're casting. It's crazy. There's just color everywhere. You have no idea what's going on. I'm hoping for a mod that can kind of clean up some of this a bit, which is something that's a little needed. It's a little crazy. There's a lot going on. And you got to imagine, this is not a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it's just 10v10. Which is, and it's nuts because it looks like it's 40v40 with all the crap going on, and I love it. I love it. That is why I'm like, this PvP is awesome. Is because it's so much more skill based than in other games. The reasoning behind that is if you're standing in people's abilities, like I'm clearly doing here, like an idiot, you're gonna die terribly, like I'm clearly going to here in a minute. So it's more based on if you can stay out of stuff. And if you can be the one that's, keeping all the enemies in your abilities, then you're going to come out on top. You're going to outplay them, which is something that you don't see in other PvP games. I mean, look at Star Wars, for example, or even Warcraft. Both of those are great examples of this. You target an enemy, if you're a DPS PvP, and you keep them stunned for as much as you can, but the other thing you're doing is you're just doing damage. And there isn't anything that person can really do to avoid it other than doing line of sight, which, to be honest, is super boring. In this, you can line of sight, but why? When you can just move out of the telegraph by dodging left and right, by jumping out of the way if you have abilities that do so. I mean, like the Spellslinger, for example, has this blink ability where they jump forward and anyone around them from where they jumped gets stunned. Like, that's great in PvP. All classes have these stuns that they could do, and your loadout that you're going to be using on all of your characters is going to be different for PvP than it is for PvE, and that's really fun to me. I like that. I like that a lot. But it means that on PvP servers, the way that you're playing is going to be different. You're not necessarily going to be leveling with your set of abilities that you would on a PvE server. On a PvP server, you may carry around a few more stuns because if you get ganked, you're going to want to be able to fight back. But the combat in this game distinguishes between good players and bad players. If you're a bad player, you're going to die all the time in PvP and you're going to weigh your team down. If you're a good player, you're going to be able to carry a lot, and that's exciting. I think in the age of MOBAs, in the age where League of Legends and Dota and all these other games that are coming out that are MOBAs, like the Lord of the Rings one and whatnot, in an age where those are super popular and the skill-based gameplay is there, especially in, strangely enough, like Heroes of the Storm. If you're a really skilled player in that, you're going to be able to do a lot more to carry your own team than you can in, say, like League of Legends, because if you're not a very good player in League of Legends, you're going to get behind and you're going to drag your team down, as opposed to Heroes of the Storm where you can carry your team, you can help them out, and you won't be as far behind. So it's kind of the same concept here. If you're a really good player, you're going to help to carry your team, but the more good players you have on your team, the better it is. You know, that's just fact. And this is going to be a lot of fun for most of you guys who love PvP, because if you're good at it, you're going to be even better, and if you're bad at it, you're going to get carried a little bit. However, it's a lot of fun. It is so much fun, and the combat totally aids it, and I would actually do PvP here. So let's talk about more of what they got going on. So obviously they have Battlegrounds, which is what we're doing, objective-based PvP. You see that in pretty much any MMO now. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I haven't seen the other ones. I'm kind of curious what they're going to have. I'm sure there's going to be, you know, things like capture the flag and whatnot. So it'll be a lot of fun, and I think it's more fun to watch than, say, like Warcraft PvP. So there could be some esports, you know, things that you could do here, which should be a lot of fun to watch for those of you who suck at PvP like me. Like, I would love to watch Wildstar PvP in a competitive nature. I think it would be really cool to see what really good players are able to do. And then you have Arena, which kind of ties into that thought, which arenas are definitely more... I totally just whiffed that jump. I'm gonna be honest, if you were watching that. Arenas are more along that style of, like, you know, good teams facing off against other good teams, and they do have cross-server queuing, just like they do for dungeons, which helps that out a lot, and they're gonna have, you know, ranked seasons and stuff like that from what I can tell. So there's a lot of similarities in all of the other arenas that you see in, like, Warcraft and Star Wars, and those are going to be really cool for people to do, I think. For the most part, that'll be, like, where most of the really competitive PvPers are going to be. And the very last thing that they have is something I haven't really seen a whole lot of, but I've heard a whole lot about, which are war plots. Now, war plots are going to blow your mind. Think like Alteric Valley back in level 60 WoW days, you know, like old school, where battles were epic to scale. There was a lot of people. You weren't just, like, running by people like you are nowadays in the game. And it was super strategic in a lot of ways. So think of that, because it's going to be 40v40. And from what I can tell, there's going to be, you know, strategic ways of taking down bases. Like, I think there's siege engines and stuff. But it looks like it's going to be guild versus guild as well. So from what I can tell, it's going to be awesome and epic in scale and super fun. So I'm excited to see what those actually look like. I'm not high enough level in the beta yet to be able to even try them, but they look like they're going to be cool, and they sound like they're going to be cool. There's a good concept there. You know, sometimes you just know if something's going to be good because it has a good proof of concept, and you know that the developers are good enough to be able to pull it off. And I think Carbine in this case will be able to pull off 40v40 PvP, and it will be awesome. I mean, if you think this is mad with how much stuff is on the screen at any given time, then 40v40 is just going to blow your mind, I think. And for me especially, it's going to blow my mind. It's also going to probably kill all of our computers, which... that's what we want. You know, it's hilarious. It's fun. And in a few years down the line, when computers can keep up with that a bit better, I think it'll be real silky smooth, especially once the game has been optimized. Looking forward to it. But isn't that, like, such a difference in tone for me, for any of you who've been sticking around on the channel for a while? I hate PvP. I don't do it because if I can't be competitive, I don't want to do it. You know, if I don't have a competitive team, then I don't want to be there because I'm a competitive person. In this case, I just want to do it because it's fun. That's, like, a completely different radical mindset for me, and I'm gonna enjoy PvP and Wildstar, and I'm excited to. I'm excited to be there on the forefront of that and trying it out when the game comes out. But with that being said, I think this gives you guys a pretty good idea of what it looks like from a bad player's perspective, right? That's fun. It's always fun to look at someone bad playing, even though I came up with some creative ways to get around the map with my leap. Either way, I hope you guys really enjoy PvP when it comes out, and you gotta get into the beta and try it out if you're a huge PvPer. But on that note, we shall see you guys next time.